How to be in this world but not of it has always been the challenge, at least for me. We have a lot of people who will say, you came here to learn lessons. You got together with your guides and you came up with a plan. I'm simplifying, of course. But the thing is, sometimes that just does not fit. Others will say this is a one-shot deal. Contradictions and distractions are abundant. Deception, information and disinformation are all bundled together. And unfortunately, some of the things that have been encouraged are not on firm ground. Instead, we are fragmented and in some cases crazy with grief and sadness. But not all are. Some love it and thrive, bouncing back and getting on with it. What I mean by this is losing loved ones, having a sick child, war, hunger, and all the other things that a being can experience here and has. The glories of falling in love, watching your children grow into adults and have their own families. Reincarnation or incarnation can be found in traditions in many religions. Hinduism, reincarnation or samsara, is a central tenet in Hinduism. It is a cycle of birth, death and rebirth influenced by one's karma, actions. The goal is to achieve moksha, or liberation from this cycle, allowing the soul to unite with the divine. Buddhism, like Hinduism, Buddhism also believes in the cycle of rebirth, but it emphasizes the concept of anatta, no permanent self. Instead of the soul being reborn, it is a stream of consciousness that continues until one reaches nirvana, a state free from suffering and individual identity. Jainism teaches that the soul is eternal and undergoes cycles of birth and rebirth based on karma. The goal is to achieve liberation, moksha, by purifying the soul through ethical living and non-violence. Sikhism incorporates the belief in reincarnation, where the soul undergoes cycles of birth and rebirth until it merges with the divine. Good deeds and devotion to God are essential for achieving liberation. Other beliefs in reincarnation, Judaism. While mainstream Judaism does not typically endorse reincarnation, some mystical sects such as the Kabbalists and the Druze do believe in the concept of reincarnation. Islam, certain mystical sects within Islam such as the Alawites also entertain beliefs in reincarnation, although it is not a mainstream Islamic belief. Pagan religions. Some pagan traditions, including Wicca, incorporate beliefs in reincarnation as part of their spiritual practices. Indigenous beliefs. Various indigenous cultures, including some Native American and Aboriginal Australian beliefs, also hold views on reincarnation, often intertwined with their spiritual and ancestral traditions. Reincarnation is a complex and multifaceted belief that varies significantly across different religions and cultures. While it is a foundational concept in Eastern religions like Hinduism and Buddhism, it also appears in various forms in other spiritual traditions around the world. Understanding these beliefs provides insight into how different cultures view life, death, and the journey of the soul. So that was a brief outline of some of the beliefs surrounding reincarnation, and there are many, many more. Now let's look at past lives. There are literally thousands of accounts told by a multitude of people of dreams, visions, and past life regression. I have myself experienced episodes where I was someone else in some other time. Now let's look at that and what it could possibly mean. Ancestral lines, inheritance carried in the structure of the water of our bodies. When I held my daughter as a newborn, there were moments when I would see her little facial expressions, flickers of images of past relatives. And maybe that is where we begin to come together. Not by proving who is right, but by recognising that we are all walking through the same seasons. Winter and spring, loss and renewal, darkness and light. Each of us carrying our own story. Each of us searching for our own way. To be in this world, but not completely of it. And perhaps the real work is not escaping this realm, but learning how to live within it, with compassion, being the eye of the storm. To care for one another even when our beliefs are different. To sit at the same table without needing agreement on every detail. Because beneath religion, beneath philosophy, beneath all the names and labels we give to things, there is still a mother holding her child, a father worrying about the future, a neighbour helping another in a hard time. Simple acts, thoughtful acts, sacred acts. And maybe that is the meeting place, not in doctrine, not in argument, but in kindness and shared responsibility and remembering we belong to one another. My name is Caroline Bell Tumblety, and thank you for listening and watching.